Okay, so how do you do a proper body rip? So body rip is a close range technique. You would normally set up using your long range techniques to work yourself closer range to set up that body rip. You wouldn't just start off and throw the body rip because you'll be open to a lot of good counters, okay? So from here, let's run through the technique first. The first thing you want to do is draw that shoulder back. This will help load up that body rip, allowing you to rotate and pivot into that punch. So the first thing you do, draw back. You're not going to drop your hand all the way down and then scoop up. You want to come here, drop it down at a 90-degree bend, but at the same time as you're dropping that hand down, you're already turning straight into that punch. There's only a very short period where I'm not punching or I'm not protected, okay? So I don't want to be this. I want to be straight here, keeping my guard up nice and tight, drawing that shoulder back, and then from my guard, as I rotate, I drop my hand down a little bit, driving through into that punch. So when I punch, when I contact, I want to imagine that my fist is going through to the opposite shoulder, okay? So that's the angle you're aiming for. From here, you draw back, you're aiming to come up at that 45 degrees angle. You're not trying to hook yourself. You've got to make sure that your wrist contacts straight on impact again, and you're not trying to go straight up like an uppercut. Think of it as a mix between a hook and an uppercut. It's at that 45 degrees angle, coming up, aiming at the ribs. So from here, draw that shoulder back, hand comes down, pivoting into that rib. So a couple of common mistakes with that body rip is because it's a low punch, people tend to put all their weight forward and try to come in close to do that punch. But the footwork should be exactly the same as a hook. So you want to be here. If you're in the correct distance, all you have to do is turn and pivot, dropping your weight directly in the middle, still allowing your front foot to rotate into that punch. Remembering the rule of wherever your fist ends is where your knee stops turning. So you don't want to be like this and turn all the way around. It'll stop wherever your fist ends, like that, okay? So again, draw back, come across, come around, boom, straight into that rip. Draw back, twisting through, around into that rip. If you're like this, you're heavy-footed all on the front, then you won't get enough power behind that rip. Okay, so from here, draw back, rip. If you're setting it up, a couple of ways to set up a good body rip would be throw a jab or a fake jab, then you step into closer range, then you can throw that body rip. Or you throw a long cross, and then you step in, and then you throw that body rip. Or you throw a cross, but you're not throwing it at full power, so you're coming in close and you're not getting full extension on that cross, but you're not worrying about that because you're focusing on setting up a nice strong body rip. Okay, so you can either throw a long, then step in and throw that body rip, or you throw a short cross while you step in, closing the distance, and then throw that left body rip. I don't usually throw a right body rip, but if you did throw a right body rip, it's exactly the same. Your pivot is exactly the same as a cross. You turn around, the fist angle and position is the same as if you would throw it on the left. The reason I don't really throw it on the right is because I find people are pretty good at left hook counters, so you're right there where their left hook is. Also, if you're doing Muay Thai, they could get you into the clench and then elbow and knee you from that position. So I don't really like to come in with a right rip. But it's personal preference. A lot of people use a right rip and it works for them. It just doesn't really work for me, so I normally focus on setting up that left body rip.